A few weeks ago, I uploaded a video about a commonly confused pair of English words, loose and lose. If you missed it, make sure you check it out. Link above and in the description below. Today, we are going to review 6 idioms with the word lose in them. Remember, lose is a verb. The letter S in this word actually makes the Z sound. Lose. It rhymes with choose, bruise, snooze. So before we get to our 6 idioms today, I wanted to take a moment to say hello to everyone and welcome you back to my channel, or welcome to those of you who are visiting for the first time. My name is Bakul Soman and I love languages. I love learning them and I love teaching them. A few reminders before we get to our idioms. Remember to share my video with others that you think might like it or find it helpful. Remember to like it. Remember to leave me a comment. And lastly, if you haven't already, remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Okay, here is our first idiom. Lose one's bearings. This can be used literally or metaphorically. Literally, it means to not know where you are, to be lost. So you could say, it is easy to lose one's bearings in a new city. This can also be used metaphorically. And when it is used metaphorically, what it means is that you're not sure what you should do next. You're kind of lost, but not in a physical sense, but more metaphorically, right? You don't know what to do next. So here's an example. After her divorce, she felt like she had lost her bearings and she didn't know what the future was going to hold for her. Okay, idioms number 2 and 3 are actually similar, though not exactly the same. Okay, so we're kind of going to look at them together. Lose one's mind. Typically, this means you're doing something that is crazy, that doesn't make any sense, right? So if somebody spends $500 on a pair of shoes, and I know there are people out there who do that, but in my mind, if somebody does that, I will ask them, you spent $500 on a pair of shoes? Have you lost your mind, right? Have you gone crazy? Why would you spend $500 on a pair of shoes? Unless you have billions, and then I guess it doesn't matter. But for most of us, $500 is a huge amount of money. So if somebody does that, it is fair to wonder if they have lost their mind. So the next one also means something very similar. You're acting crazy, you're making crazy decisions, you are acting insane. But in my mind, it conveys an intensity which is a lot higher than losing one's mind. Okay, so losing one's marbles is much more serious, I guess, than losing your mind. This, to me, seems more momentary. Losing your marbles seems like a more permanent state of being. All right, so here's an example for losing your marbles. When he started talking about seeing apparitions and communicating with dead people, everyone thought he had lost his marbles. So you see the difference? Buying a $500 pair of shoes might be a moment of insanity. You were just so taken by those shoes, you had to have them and you made a crazy decision. Where seeing apparitions and talking to dead people, you know, the intensity in my mind is higher and it seems like a more permanent state of being. Lose your cool. This essentially means becoming very, very angry. So here are a couple of examples. He tends to lose his cool when he gets stuck in traffic, right? So the quintessential driver who is sitting stuck in traffic and, you know, ranting and raving inside, all stressed and frustrated because traffic isn't going anywhere. That's a person who lost their cool. Here is another example. Despite the heated argument, she managed to not lose her cool and presented her ideas calmly. The next idiom is lose it. This essentially means to lose control of your emotions. And it can be anger, but it doesn't have to be. It could be immense sorrow. It could be uncontrollable laughter, right? Just any time when you're not able to control and stay in control of your emotions. All right, so let's take a look at some examples. When she found out that she had failed the exam once again, she lost it and burst into tears. She couldn't hold in all the sorrow and whatever else she was feeling, and she just burst into tears. Here's something that I think a lot of us can relate to, especially when we were younger, when you're in school and you always have that friend who does something that makes you laugh. And of course, if you start laughing in class, you're going to get in trouble, right? But you try to hold it together, but then you lose it and then you start laughing hysterically. So that is an example of losing it. Okay, so I think we all have had a friend like that, or maybe you were the friend who did that to other kids. But in this case, we're using losing it to indicate that you lost control of the ability to hold in your laughter, not sorrow, not anger. But it can be used with anger as well, like in this example. During the intense final minutes of the game, the coach lost it and got a technical foul for yelling at the referee. All right, so that is anger, maybe frustration, but coach could no longer hold it together and he lost it. The last idiom we're going to look at today is lose one's head. This refers to the state when somebody becomes very agitated or upset or irrational, typically in response to a stressful or overwhelming situation. It implies a loss of composure and a loss of ability to think clearly and or act sensibly. So it could be because of anger, but it doesn't have to be. It could simply refer to being flustered or getting panicked when something happens. So here's an example. She almost lost her head when she got to the airport for her international flight and realized that she had forgotten her passport at home. Here's another example. When the fire alarm went off, he lost his head and started running in the wrong direction away from the exit. Or, during the heated debate, she lost her head and started yelling at everyone and forgot her main points. So, as you can see, losing your head means not being able to think clearly or act sensibly, and it could be a lot of different situations that could lead to that, and a lot of different emotions that could lead to that. All right, that is it. Our 6 idioms, all with the word lose in them. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell. Thank you as always for watching, and I will see you next week.